Smallfoot is the latest Warner Animation Group film, and I've been pretty impressed with their category of movies. From the Lego movies to the latest Storks movie as well, I enjoyed most of their movies. And Smallfoot tells the story of Migo, voiced by Channing Tatum, who runs into a human who they call Smallfoots. They are a group of Yetis who live in the top of the mountains, and they have a society where they believe in these rules that are on these stones of this big Yeti, and they have to abide by these rules. And Migo sees this Smallfoot, goes to his village and says, I ran into this human, you have to believe me, and they cast him aside, and he seeks it out to bring the human to his village to tell the truth. Now, going into this movie, I was excited to see it because of Warner Animation Group, really good films. But when I sat down and started watching this movie, there's a lot of things that caught me by surprise. There's a lot of things that I was not expecting. One, there's some music in it. Songs sang by Common, Zendaya, and even Channing Tatum. There's a lot of musical numbers in here. And also, there's a lot of messages in this movie that sometimes really don't mesh together. There's a lot of messages of accepting one another, even if it scares you. There's a lot of messages of, if you have certain beliefs, it's okay to question those beliefs and go against those beliefs. Those messages come aplenty really early on in the movie, and a lot of them just didn't mesh well with the tone of the movie, which was a comedy for kids. A lot of the style in here is borrowed from almost kind of like Looney Tunes, where Migo is bashing his head against mountains and he's falling off of cliffs and just dropping. Kind of like the Looney Tunes where they just fall off the cliff and they drop. It borrows that style of comedy where kids will laugh, but it also mixes in those messages, and I don't think those two tones really clash together very well. I appreciated the message they were trying to come across, but many times, even with the musical numbers, it felt very heavy-handed. They tried to extend certain messages in the movie. They were constantly reminding the viewer of the message they were trying to come across, having these beliefs on these stones that the society was living off of. And if you have a question, push it down deep and ignore that question. But then you have these group of Yetis who don't believe in these stones and don't believe how the Yetis came to be and how they live on this mountain and how they have to hit a gong every morning so a snail can come up and shine on everybody. They don't believe in those. And so there's it's almost like anti-religious groups in here, these different Yetis who don't believe in the religious beliefs that these Yetis are living off of. And then you got people who are, strong units and have these beliefs, and they're kind of just clashing heads at times, but it doesn't mix well with the comedy that is in here. And I felt the comedy to be very dry. I know I'm not the target audience. Kids in this movie will probably have fun, but I thought a lot of it was just a bit corny. Even kids in front of me who are watching this movie just kind of sat there and just watched the movie. They didn't get out of their seat and put their hands on the front seat and bounce up and down. They weren't getting involved with it. So right there, that tells me that kids might not enjoy this movie. It's very colorful. I like the animation in here. It pops. I do like the voice acting. You got James Corden, LeBron James, Common, Zendaya, Danny Devito, and Channing Tatum. Big cast members in this movie. Some of the music is a bit catchy, but also very forgettable at times. They kind of just blend together as one song, most of them. Overall, I thought Smallfoot was a missed opportunity. There were some messages that kind of felt heavy-handed and just kept coming and coming. And then the comedy in here just felt very borrowed from Looney Tunes and very generic at times as well. The animation pops. It's a bright colored film. The voice acting is really great. Some of the music is catchy, but also forgettable. Overall, it's one of Warner Animation Group's weaker films. They've created 5 films so far, and I would say it's one of their weaker films. I know I'm not the target audience for this movie, but I can still enjoy a kids movie, and this one I just didn't really click with. I'm gonna go ahead and give Smallfoot a C. Stay tuned this weekend. I'll be ranking all 5 Warner Animation Group movies from worst to best. That includes the 3 Lego movies, Storks, and now Smallfoot. Thank you guys for checking out this review. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel here on YouTube, and click the bell notification down below so you guys don't miss a video. You guys are the best as always. This is Just Watch Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.